In the world of K-pop entertainment that is full of highlights and pressure, it is not uncommon for idols to face many challenges. Behind the camera, there are stories of friendship filled with togetherness and support. One story that is quite moving and rarely known to many people is about two BTS members, Jungkook and Jin, who once lived in the house of one of the brightest young K-pop stars, Cha Eun-woo. The journey of life of K-pop idols is not always as smooth as it seems on the screen. Behind their incredible popularity, there are stories of no less great struggle. One of them is the close relationship that exists between Jungkook, Jin, and Cha Eun-woo. Maybe many don't know, but there is a very special and meaningful reason why these two BTS members lived in Cha Eun-woo's house for a while. Early years in the entertainment world, the support of real friends when they first started their careers, both BTS and ASDRO. These two groups had to face great challenges. This highly competitive world of K-pop is not easy to break into, and although both have incredible talent, they will have to fight hard for a place in the hearts of fans. It is then that they support each other, especially when it comes to emotional and physical needs that are often overlooked by the outside world. Jungkook and Jin, who have been part of BTS since their debut in 2013, needed temporary housing outside a dormitory provided by their agency, Big Hit Entertainment. This happened in the early days of their careers, when they were still blazing the path to success. Cha Eun-woo, who is also a talented young idol, knows the challenges faced by his friends in BTS, and without hesitation, he opens the door of his house for them. This decision is not only to provide a place to live, but also as a form of meaningful support for those who are struggling to pursue a career in the entertainment industry. As a fellow artist, Cha Eun-woo knows very well how important it is to have friends who can strengthen each other in the midst of tough competition and pressure that comes from outside. Intimate atmosphere at Cha Eun-woo's house. Heartwarming togetherness even though they were in the midst of an overwhelming rush. Living in Cha Eun-woo's house provided them with more than just shelter. The familiarity that exists between them is noticeable not only on stage, but also when they spend time together at home. Every evening they would sit together, talk about the future, or simply share stories about the difficulties they faced. For Jungkook, who is still very young and full of ambition, being able to live with Cha Eun-woo provided peace and comfort. He can speak freely without worrying about the high expectations he has to meet. Meanwhile, Jin, who is more mature, always gives advice and moral support to his two friends, including Cha Eun-woo. They shared many laughs, but also many moments of reflection and serious discussions regarding their life goals. There are so many little moments that mean so much to them. For example, when they are all together cooking food in the kitchen, or even just sitting enjoying a relaxing time without interference from the outside world. It's a meaningful time, especially for Jungkook and Jin, who often feel isolated from the outside world due to their busy schedules. Friendship, strengthening mentally and physically. The emotional support they get during their stay with Cha Eun-woo proves to be very meaningful. The world of K-pop entertainment is known to be very draining mentally and physically, with schedules that hardly give room for rest. However, with the presence of friends who support each other, they feel a little lighter. Cha Eun-woo, despite his considerable popularity with ASDRO group, never lets that pressure get in the way of his good relationship with Jungkook and Jin. He always tries to be a reliable friend, someone with whom they can talk not only about work, but also about their personal lives. The warmth created between them shows that even at the peak of success, togetherness and friendship are priceless, not just a place to live. Life lessons from this friendship. This story of Jungkook, Jin, and Cha Eun-woo teaches us that behind every success, there is a story of struggle and sacrifice that is often unseen. The friendship that exists between them is a clear example that in a world full of competition, the existence of a faithful friend is very important. Living with Cha Eun-woo not only gives Jungkook and Jin a sanctuary, but also gives them valuable lessons on how to maintain good relationships, support each other, and remain humble despite being at the top of their careers. It also shows that even though they are famous celebrities, they are still human beings who need emotional and mental support just as much as anyone else. This story also gives an idea of how strong the bonds of friendship are in the entertainment world that is often considered very competitive. It's not uncommon to see K-pop idols working hard alone, but in this case, Jungkook, Jin, and Cha Eun-woo showed that supporting each other is much more important than just competition. Happy ending. Return to the hostel, but friendship remains eternal after some time. Jungkook and Jin finally return to their dorm with the other BTS members. Although they return to a stressful life, memories of their days living in Cha Eun-woo's house remain imprinted in their memories. The friendship they built in those difficult times became a solid foundation for moving forward in their careers. Now, both BTS and Cha Eun-woo have achieved great success, but they still maintain a good relationship with each other. No one knows what the future holds, but one thing is certain. The friendship that exists between them will always remind us that behind every journey to success, there is a story of togetherness and invaluable support. Conclusion: a story that will always be remembered. This heartwarming story of BTS's Jungkook, Jin, and Cha Eun-woo reminds us that even though they live under a very bright spotlight, they are still ordinary humans who need real friends. Their friendship is not just a story, but also a valuable lesson about the importance of supporting each other in facing life's challenges. The little moments they spend together at Cha Eun-woo's house may seem simple, but to them, they are meaningful times. This story is not only about the career journey of an idol, but also about the journey of life full of togetherness, sincerity, and selfless support. As time goes by, this friendship will continue to be remembered by Jungkook, Jin, and Cha Eun-woo, as well as by the fans who follow their journey. This story teaches us that in a fast-paced and stressful world, true friends are the most precious treasure. After reading the heartwarming story of BTS's Jungkook, Jin, and Cha Eun-woo living together at Cha Eun-woo's house, many of us may have felt moved and impressed by the bonds of friendship shown in the story. However, let's pause and question the veracity of this story. Is this really a true story that happened in a K-pop world full of drama and media spotlight? Or is it just in fabrication to attract public attention? In this fast-paced world, news about K-pop idols is never out of the spotlight of the media, with everything possible to make sensational headlines. Their every move, both in terms of career and personal life, is often the subject of discussion around the world. So, is it possible that this heartwarming story about Jungkook and Jin staying at Cha Eun-woo's house is just a story deliberately made to arouse readers' emotions and attract more people's attention?